Question 1. Claims process overview. An insurance adjuster receives a claim for water damage from a policyholder who reports that their basement flooded due to a malfunctioning sump pump. The adjuster must determine whether the damage is covered under the homeowner's policy. What should the adjuster primarily focus on when evaluating this claim? A. The total amount of the claim and the estimated cost of repairs. B. The maintenance history of the sump pump and whether it was properly maintained. C. The specific provisions of the homeowner's insurance policy regarding water damage. D. The policyholder's previous claims history to identify patterns of loss. Answer. C. The specific provisions of the homeowner's insurance policy regarding water damage. Explanation. The adjuster should first review the homeowner's insurance policy to determine the specific coverage related to water damage. Many homeowner policies have exclusions for damage caused by flooding or lack of maintenance of equipment like sump pumps. Understanding the terms and conditions outlined in the policy is crucial to making an informed decision regarding the coverage. While the other options may provide useful context, they do not address the foundational aspect of claim evaluation, which is understanding the policy's terms. Question 2. Workers' compensation claims. A worker, Maria, has sustained an injury while performing her job duties. She reports the injury to her employer but does not seek medical attention immediately. After a week, the pain worsens and she visits a doctor who diagnoses a work-related injury. Which of the following is the most significant factor affecting her ability to receive workers' compensation benefits? A. The timing of her medical visit in relation to the injury report. B. The severity of her injury as determined by the physician. C. Whether her employer has a formal safety program in place. D. The type of industry in which she is employed. Answer A. The timing of her medical visit in relation to the injury report. Explanation. In workers' compensation claims, timely reporting of injuries is critical. The delay in seeking medical attention can lead to complications regarding the claim. Employers and their insurers often rely on prompt medical assessments to connect the injury to work activities accurately. If Maria does not report her injury or seek medical attention promptly, it may raise questions about the injury's work-relatedness, impacting her eligibility for benefits. The severity of the injury and the employer's safety program, while important, are secondary to the critical issue of reporting and documenting the injury in a timely manner. Question 3. Scenario-based question. John is a public adjuster who is currently handling a claim for a client whose home was damaged during a severe thunderstorm. The claim includes both property damage and loss of business income as the client operates a home-based business. During his investigation, John finds that the client did not take appropriate measures to mitigate the damage immediately after the storm. What is John's best course of action regarding this claim? A. Recommend the client file a complaint against their insurer for non-coverage of business income loss. B. Deny the claim outright due to the lack of mitigation efforts. C. Document the findings about the mitigation failure and proceed with evaluating the claim's merits. D. Advise the client to settle for a lower amount to expedite the claims process. Answer. C. Document the findings about the mitigation failure and proceed with evaluating the claim's merits. Explanation. As a public adjuster, John must thoroughly document any findings related to the claim, including the client's failure to mitigate damages. While not taking steps to prevent further damage could affect the outcome of the claim, it does not automatically lead to a denial. John's role is to evaluate the overall merits of the claim while considering all factors, including the policy's terms regarding mitigation. By documenting his findings, he can provide a comprehensive report to the insurer while advocating for his client's interests. Recommending a complaint or advising a settlement without thorough investigation could lead to professional and ethical issues. Question 4. Ethical obligations of adjusters. An adjuster discovers that a policyholder has provided misleading information about a prior claim history when submitting a new claim. What should the adjuster do in this situation? A. Ignore the misleading information to expedite the claims process. B. Confront the policyholder and demand a full explanation of the discrepancy. C. Report the findings to the insurance company and document the misleading information in the claim file. D. Advise the policyholder to withdraw the claim to avoid further complications. Answer. C. Report the findings to the insurance company and document the misleading information in the claim file. Explanation. Adjusters have an ethical obligation to report any discrepancies or potentially fraudulent information related to claims. By documenting the misleading information and reporting it to the insurer, the adjuster ensures that the claims process remains fair and that the insurer can make informed decisions regarding coverage. Ignoring the issue or confronting the policyholder without proper documentation may lead to legal and ethical complications. Advising the policyholder to withdraw the claim would not address the ethical concerns raised by the misleading information. Question 5. Understanding policy limits and coverage types. Which of the following scenarios would most likely fall under a homeowner's insurance policy's liability coverage? A. A tree from the insured's yard falls on a neighbor's car during a storm. B. The insured's person or property is stolen from their home. C. The insured's home sustains damage from a fire caused by faulty wiring. D. The insured's guest trips and falls on a loose rug in their home, injuring themselves. Answer: D. The insured's guest trips and falls on a loose rug in their home, injuring themselves. Explanation: liability coverage under a homeowner's insurance policy typically protects the insured from claims made by others for bodily injury or property damage occurring on the insured's premises. In this scenario, the injury to the guest would likely be covered under liability, as it involves a claim for damages caused by the insured's negligence in maintaining a safe environment. The other options refer to property damage or theft of the insured's own property, which would typically fall under different coverage sections of the homeowner's policy, such as property coverage or personal property protection. Question 6. Types of claims: workers' compensation. A nurse is injured while lifting a patient and immediately reports the injury to her supervisor. However, the employer disputes the claim, arguing that the nurse was not following proper lifting procedures at the time of the incident. What is the primary consideration for determining the nurse's eligibility for workers' compensation benefits? A. The employer's safety training programs and policies. B. Whether the nurse was acting within the scope of her employment when the injury occurred. C. The nurse's previous claims history and any patterns of injury. D. The severity of the injury as assessed by medical professionals. Answer: B. Whether the nurse was acting within the scope of her employment when the injury occurred. Explanation: to qualify for workers' compensation benefits, an employee must demonstrate that their injury occurred while they were acting within the scope of their employment. Even if the employer disputes the claim based on alleged improper procedures, the key question remains whether the nurse was performing her job duties at the time of the injury. If it is determined that she was working within her employment role, she is generally entitled to benefits regardless of procedural compliance. The other options may provide context but do not directly address the core eligibility criteria for workers' compensation. Question 7. Investigating claims. During a claim investigation for a fire loss, the adjuster uncovers evidence that the fire may have been deliberately set. What should the adjuster's next step be in handling this claim? A. Immediately deny the claim based on the evidence of arson. B. Report the findings to the local authorities and the insurance company's fraud unit. C. Confront the policyholder with the evidence and ask for an explanation. D. Wait for the fire investigation team to complete their report before taking any action. Answer: B. Report the findings to the local authorities and the insurance company's fraud unit. Explanation: when evidence of potential arson is discovered during a claim investigation, it is the adjuster's responsibility to report the findings to both the authorities and the insurance company's fraud unit. This action ensures that the situation is investigated thoroughly and that appropriate legal measures can be taken if necessary. Denying the claim outright or confronting the policyholder may not follow proper protocol and could jeopardize the investigation. Waiting for a fire investigation team without taking any action could lead to the loss of critical evidence and hinder the claims process. Question 8. Consumer protection laws. Which of the following practices would most likely be considered a violation of consumer protection laws in the context of insurance adjusting claims based on the actual cash value rather than the replacement cost when the policy specifies replacement cost? B. Failing to provide a written explanation of coverage denials to the policyholder. C. Offering to settle a claim for less than the amount originally estimated. D. Taking an overly aggressive approach in negotiating with the policyholder about their claim. Answer: B. Failing to provide a written explanation of coverage denials to the policyholder. Explanation: consumer protection laws require insurance companies and adjusters to provide clear and transparent communication regarding coverage decisions, including denials. Failing to provide a written explanation can lead to misunderstandings and potential disputes, which is why it is a violation of these laws. Adjusting claims based on actual cash value when replacement cost is specified may be poor practice, but does not necessarily violate laws. Similarly, offering settlements or negotiating with policyholders is acceptable as long as it adheres to ethical standards and is done transparently. Question 9. Estimating damage and loss. An adjuster is evaluating a property damage claim where the insured reported extensive roof damage from a storm. The adjuster assesses the damage and determines the total cost for repairs to be $15,000. However, the insured insists that the previous contractor quoted $20,000 for the same work. How should the adjuster proceed in this situation? A. Accept the insured's contractor's estimate as final and approve the claim for $20,000. B. Investigate further to understand the discrepancy between the two estimates. C. Deny the claim on the basis that the insured did not provide the most competitive estimate. D. Recommend the insured to choose a different contractor for more accurate pricing. Answer: B. Investigate further to understand the discrepancy between the two estimates. Explanation: the adjuster should investigate the discrepancy between the two estimates to ensure that the claim is handled fairly and accurately. This may include asking the insured for details about the contractor's quote, the scope of work included, and any additional repairs that may have been considered in the higher estimate. Accepting the insured's estimate without further investigation could lead to potential overpayment and could violate the insurer's duty to pay only what is fair and reasonable based on the damage. Denying the claim or recommending a different contractor without understanding the existing quotes does not resolve the discrepancy effectively. Question 10. Types of losses. A homeowner files a claim for damage caused by a tree falling on their house during a storm. The insurance policy includes coverage for windstorm damage but excludes damage from falling objects unless certain conditions are met. What is the primary factor that will determine if the claim is covered? A. Whether the tree was on the insured's property or a neighbor's property. B. The cause of the tree falling, natural causes or negligence. C. Whether the tree was healthy or diseased prior to the storm. D. The specific language of the policy regarding falling objects. Answer: D. The specific language of the policy regarding falling objects. Explanation: the primary factor that will determine coverage in this scenario is the specific language of the insurance policy regarding falling objects. If the policy includes an exclusion for falling objects unless certain conditions are met, such as the tree being healthy, then this will guide the adjuster's decision, while the other factors may influence the context of the claim. They do not override the actual policy language. Understanding the terms of the policy is crucial for determining coverage in this and similar situations. Question 11. Claims process overview. An insured submits a claim for theft of personal property that occurred while traveling. What is the first step the adjuster should take in processing this claim? A. Immediately approve the claim based on the insured's statement. B. Conduct a thorough investigation to verify the details of the theft. C. Ask the insured for receipts for the stolen items before proceeding. D. Request a police report to substantiate the claim. Answer: B. Conduct a thorough investigation to verify the details of the theft. Explanation: before any claims can be approved or denied, the adjuster must conduct a thorough investigation to verify the details surrounding the theft. This may include gathering evidence, interviewing the insured, and examining the circumstances of the loss. While obtaining a police report, option D, is important, the adjuster's primary responsibility is to assess the claim comprehensively, ensuring all relevant details are considered. Rushing to approve the claim or requesting receipts without first understanding the circumstances may lead to erroneous decisions. Question 12. Understanding bodily injury versus property damage claims. In a car accident, one driver is injured and the other driver's vehicle is damaged. The injured party files a claim against the other driver's insurance for bodily injury. What type of coverage is primarily responsible for addressing the injured party's medical expenses? A. Collision coverage. B. Bodily injury liability coverage. C. Personal injury protection (PIP) coverage. D. Property damage liability coverage. Answer: B. Bodily injury liability coverage. Explanation: bodily injury liability coverage is specifically designed to cover medical expenses, lost wages, and other costs associated with injuries sustained by third parties in an accident caused by the insured. Collision coverage (option A) applies to damage to the insured's vehicle, while personal injury protection (PIP) can cover the insured's medical expenses but may not apply to the injured third party. Property damage liability (option D) covers damages to the other party's vehicle, not their bodily injuries. Question 13. Types of insurance. A small business owner is concerned about potential lawsuits related to their services. Which type of insurance would best protect the business against claims of negligence or malpractice? A. Property insurance. B. General liability insurance. C. Professional liability insurance. D. Workers' compensation insurance. Answer: C. Professional liability insurance. Explanation. Professional liability insurance, often referred to as errors and omissions insurance, protects businesses and professionals from claims of negligence, malpractice, or inadequate work. This type of coverage is particularly important for service-based businesses where the quality of advice or services could be contested. General liability insurance, option B, provides broader coverage for bodily injury and property damage, but does not specifically address negligence claims. Property insurance, option A, covers physical assets, while workers' compensation, option D, is for employee injuries on the job. Question 14. Adjusting techniques. When negotiating a claim settlement with an insured, which technique is most effective for reaching an amicable resolution? A. Taking a hard stance and refusing to compromise on the initial offer. B. Actively listening to the insured's concerns and validating their feelings. C. Making a lowball offer to gauge the insured's reaction. D. Avoiding direct communication and only using written correspondence. Answer. B. Actively listening to the insured's concerns and validating their feelings. Explanation. Effective negotiation requires strong communication skills, including active listening. By acknowledging and validating the insured's concerns, the adjuster builds trust and rapport, which can facilitate a more productive negotiation process. A hard stance or lowball offers may alienate the insured and lead to disputes, while avoiding direct communication could create misunderstandings and hinder the resolution process. Question 15. Replacement cost versus actual cash value. A policyholder experiences a loss of personal property due to covered peril. The policy allows for actual cash value (ACV) settlements if the policyholder owned a television worth $1,200 new, but it has depreciated in value to $800 at the time of the loss. What amount will the insurer pay for the television? A. $1,200. B. $800. C. $600. D. $1,000. Answer. B. $800. Explanation. Actual cash value is calculated as the replacement cost of an item minus depreciation. In this case, the television has a replacement cost of $1,200 but has depreciated to $800, which reflects its current value. The insurer will pay the policyholder the ACV amount, which is $800, under the terms of the policy. Understanding the difference between ACV and replacement cost is crucial for adjusters when assessing claims. Question 16. Claim documentation. What is the primary purpose of maintaining thorough documentation during the claims adjustment process? A. To protect the adjuster from potential lawsuits. B. To justify the amount of the claim to management. C. To ensure that all relevant information is available for future reference and auditing. D. To provide a detailed history of all communications with the insured. Answer. C. To ensure that all relevant information is available for future reference and auditing. Explanation. Maintaining thorough documentation during the claims adjustment process serves multiple purposes, but the primary objective is to ensure that all relevant information is accessible for future reference, auditing, and potential litigation. Proper documentation allows for transparency and accountability in the claims process. While protecting the adjuster and providing communication histories are important, they are secondary to the overarching goal of comprehensive documentation for audit purposes. Question 17. Regulatory compliance. Which of the following actions would violate North Carolina's insurance regulatory compliance laws? A. An adjuster offering gifts to clients to secure their business. B. An adjuster providing clear explanations of coverage and claims procedures to policyholders. C. An adjuster maintaining current licensure and completing required continuing education. D. An adjuster disclosing claim information to unauthorized parties. Answer. D. An adjuster disclosing claim information to unauthorized parties. Explanation. Disclosing claim information to unauthorized parties is a direct violation of regulatory compliance and confidentiality laws in North Carolina. Adjusters are legally obligated to maintain the privacy of policyholder information and claim details. Offering gifts, option A, is also unethical and could be considered a form of inducement, but it is not as directly tied to regulatory compliance as unauthorized disclosure. The other options demonstrate compliant and ethical behavior. Question 18. Impact of technology on claims adjusting. How has technology primarily changed the claims adjusting process in recent years? A. By eliminating the need for adjusters altogether. B. By streamlining communication and enhancing data collection for more accurate assessments. C. By increasing the time required to process claims due to new software requirements. D. By standardizing all claims processes, making them less flexible. Correct answer. B. By streamlining communication and enhancing data collection for more accurate assessments. Explanation. Technology has significantly improved the claims adjusting process by enabling better communication between parties and enhancing the accuracy of data collection. Tools like digital photo submissions, mobile apps, and data analytics help adjusters assess claims more efficiently and accurately. While technology may introduce new processes, it has not eliminated the need for adjusters or made the process less flexible overall. Claims processing times can also be reduced rather than increased with effective technological integration. Question 19. Types of losses. An insured has a homeowner's policy with coverage for all risks but excludes specific high-risk items. After fire damages a valuable painting, the insured files a claim for its loss. Which of the following factors will determine whether the loss is covered? A. The age and condition of the painting prior to the fire. B. Whether the painting was listed on a special endorsement to the policy. C. The extent of damage to the rest of the insured property. D. The insured's previous claims history regarding personal property. Answer. B. Whether the painting was listed on a special endorsement to the policy. Explanation. With all risks coverage, most losses are covered unless specifically excluded. High-value items, such as artwork, may require separate endorsements to be fully covered. If the painting was not listed on an endorsement or specifically excluded from the policy, it may not be covered despite the general coverage being broad. Other factors, such as age or previous claims history, do not directly affect the coverage determination for the painting under the terms of the policy. Question 20. Fair claims settlement practices. What is the most important guideline for an adjuster to follow in order to comply with fair claims settlement practices? A. Process claims as quickly as possible regardless of accuracy. B. Negotiate settlements in good faith and provide reasonable explanations for offers. C. Limit communication with insureds to reduce misunderstandings. D. Prioritize high-value claims over smaller ones for efficiency. Answer. B. Negotiate settlements in good faith and provide reasonable explanations for offers. Explanation. Complying with fair claims settlement practices requires adjusters to negotiate in good faith, which includes being transparent about how settlement amounts are determined and providing clear explanations for any offers made. This approach fosters trust and ensures that insureds feel heard and understood. Rushing claims processing. Option A. Limiting communication. Option C. Or prioritizing claims based on value. Option D. Can lead to unethical practices and may violate the principles of fair treatment in the claims process. Question 21. Coverage limits. An insured has a homeowner's policy with a dwelling limit of $300,000 and a separate personal property limit of $150,000. If a fire causes $400,000 in damages to the home and destroys $100,000 worth of personal property, what is the maximum amount the insurer will pay for the total loss? A. $300,000. B. $400,000. C. $450,000. D. $500,000. Correct answer. B. $400,000. Explanation. The insurer will pay the lesser of the actual loss or the policy limits. In this case, the total loss is $400,000, which is under the combined limits of the dwelling, $300,000, and personal property, $150,000, but exceeds the dwelling limit alone. The total amount the insurer pays will be the sum of the dwelling limit plus the personal property limit, but since the dwelling limit caps the coverage, the maximum payout is the total loss amount of $400,000. Question 22. Subrogation rights. After paying a claim for water damage caused by a neighbor's faulty plumbing, what right does the insurance company have against the neighbor? A. Right of contribution. B. Right of subrogation. C. Right of indemnity. D. Right of recovery. Answer. B. Right of subrogation. Explanation. Subrogation is the right of an insurer to pursue a third party that caused an insurance loss to the insured after paying the claim. In this case, once the insurer pays the insured for the water damage, it can seek to recover those costs from the neighbor responsible for the damage. Contribution, indemnity, and recovery are terms related to different types of claims and liabilities, but do not specifically apply to the insurer's ability to recover costs from a third party. Question 23. Exclusions in policies. Which of the following perils is typically excluded from standard homeowners insurance policies? A. Fire. B. Theft. C. Flood. D. Vandalism. Answer. C. Flood. Explanation. Standard homeowners insurance policies typically cover risks such as fire, theft, and vandalism. However, floods are usually excluded from standard coverage, requiring separate flood insurance policies to protect against that specific peril. It's important for policyholders to understand these exclusions to ensure they have appropriate coverage for all potential risks. Question 24. Claims investigation process. During the investigation of a liability claim, the adjuster discovers that the insured was engaging in illegal activities at the time of the incident. What should the adjuster do next? A. Deny the claim immediately without further investigation. B. Continue the investigation to gather all relevant facts before making a determination. C. Inform the insured that the claim will be denied due to illegal activity. D. Contact law enforcement to report the illegal activity. Answer. B. Continue the investigation to gather all relevant facts before making a determination. Explanation. The adjuster should not rush to deny the claim simply based on the discovery of illegal activity. Instead, it's crucial to gather all relevant facts surrounding the incident to make a well-informed decision. This includes understanding the full context of the incident and how the illegal activity relates to the claim. Simply informing the insured of denial, option C, or contacting law enforcement, option D, without completing the investigation may not be appropriate actions at this stage. Question 25. Total loss versus partial loss. A vehicle that has a market value of $15,000 is involved in an accident resulting in damages estimated at $12,000. If the vehicle has a total loss threshold of 70%, will this vehicle be considered a total loss? A. Yes, the vehicle will be considered a total loss. B. No, the vehicle will not be considered a total loss. C. The determination will depend on the adjuster's evaluation. D. It depends on the insured's willingness to repair the vehicle. Answer. B. No, the vehicle will not be considered a total loss. Explanation. A vehicle is generally considered a total loss when the repair costs exceed a certain percentage of its market value, often set at 70% or higher. In this case, the repair costs of $12,000 are only 80% of the vehicle's market value, $15,000, which exceeds the total loss threshold. Therefore, it is not classified as a total loss. The insured's willingness to repair, option D, or the adjuster's evaluation, option C, does not impact this determination. Question 26. Personal liability coverage. An insured is sued for damages after their dog bites a guest in their home. Under which coverage in a homeowner's policy would this claim be primarily covered? A. Dwelling coverage. B. Personal property coverage. C. Personal liability coverage. D. Medical payments coverage. Answer. C. Personal liability coverage. Explanation. Personal liability coverage in a homeowner's policy protects the insured against claims for bodily injury or property damage they may cause to others. In this case, the dog bite represents a liability issue that falls under personal liability coverage. Medical payments coverage, option D, could cover the medical expenses of the injured party, but the primary liability claim would be addressed under personal liability coverage. Question 27. Assignment of benefits. An insured has suffered a loss and decides to assign their insurance benefits to a contractor for repairs. What is a key factor the adjuster should verify regarding this assignment? A. The insured's previous claim history with the insurer. B. The contractor's license and credentials. C. The insurer's consent to the assignment. D. The total amount of damages incurred by the insured. Answer. C. The insurer's consent to the assignment. Explanation. Many insurance policies require the insurer's consent before an insured can assign their benefits to a third party, such as a contractor. The adjuster should verify whether this consent has been obtained to ensure that the assignment is valid and that the insurer is not inadvertently assuming obligations to an unauthorized party. The other factors may be relevant but do not take precedence over the need for insurer consent. Question 28. Policy cancellation. Which of the following is not a valid reason for an insurer to cancel a homeowner's insurance policy? A. Non-payment of premium. B. Increased risk due to changes in the property. C. The insured's involvement in a minor traffic violation. D. Misrepresentation of material facts at the time of application. Answer. C. The insured's involvement in a minor traffic violation. Explanation. An insurer typically cannot cancel a homeowner's policy based solely on the insured's involvement in a minor traffic violation, as it does not constitute a significant increase in risk relevant to the homeowner's coverage. Non-payment of premium, option A, increased risk due to changes in the property, option B, and misrepresentation of material facts, option D, are all valid reasons for policy cancellation. Question 29. Insurable interest. What is the primary requirement for a person to be eligible for insurance coverage on a property? A. They must have a financial interest in the property. B. They must reside in the property for at least 6 months. C. They must have a loan against the property. D. They must be listed as the owner on the property deed. Answer A. They must have a financial interest in the property. Explanation. To obtain insurance coverage, a person must have an insurable interest in the property, meaning they would suffer financial loss if the property were damaged or lost. This does not necessarily require them to be the owner or have a loan against the property. They could also be a renter or someone with a stake in the property's value. Question 30. Insurance fraud. An adjuster discovers that an insured has submitted fraudulent documentation to support a claim. What is the appropriate action the adjuster should take? A. Approve the claim without further investigation to avoid conflict. B. Deny the claim based on the evidence of fraud and report it to the authorities. C. Contact the insured to discuss the findings before taking action. D. Ignore the findings if the claim amount is small. Answer. B. Deny the claim based on the evidence of fraud and report it to the authorities. Explanation. If an adjuster discovers evidence of insurance fraud, the proper course of action is to deny the claim based on the fraudulent activity and report the findings to the appropriate authorities. Ignoring the fraud, option D, or approving the claim to avoid conflict, option A, could result in legal consequences for the insurer. While it may be prudent to contact the insured to discuss findings, option C, the adjuster must first deny the claim and follow legal and ethical protocols regarding suspected fraud.